Hello, and welcome to The Whole Loaf, a holistic approach to building healthy lives and strong relationships. I am with Deb Murray, a food stylist to the stars and author of 17 cookbooks, and my wife, Suzanne, of 28 years. Anyway. My wife of 28 years, yeah. And so, what are we doing tonight?
Well, what we're doing tonight, Paul, is one thing that everyone on the planet has a problem with: getting dinner on the table.
Getting dinner on a table. So we're going to be talking about planning.
We're talking about planning. I'm going to show my technique that I think that people would benefit from with busy lifestyles. Suzanne, who's been putting dinner on your table for years,
that's true.
She's got some thoughts on it. But it's all about planning to be successful.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. Yeah, you were telling a story about a teacher who both her and her spouse are teachers. They have 3 kids who are actively involved in sports. And she asked you, how do you do it?
Exactly.
How do you make the time? How do you plan everything that needs to be done and still get food on the table for dinner?
Exactly. Yeah. Not do the drive-through, because that's what you end up doing, because you just you cannot slice yourself a little thinner. I'm going to show you how you can spend about an hour or 2 on a Saturday or a Sunday, and you can make 7 days worth of meals during that period of time. And when you get them on the table, they'll be delicious, it'll be inexpensive, and I'm going to promise you that you're going to think the food tastes better than you normally make taste.
All right. So we're talking about planning this afternoon, and I heard that Apple is planning on releasing a new car. Did you guys hear this? it'll have windows. You got it?
So we get it.
Yeah, I know, it's bad. It's bad. But just as we plan dinners, I'll maintain, when it comes to relationships and building healthy relationships, strong relationships, it takes planning.
It does.
Because I always look at relationships like being a railroad track, right? You have 2 spouses, and they have their own likes, their own dreams, their own hobbies, but yet you're doing life together. And so you got to live life parallel, right? You got to travel through life parallel, sharing each other's dreams, supporting each other, encouraging each other. But there's so much that if you tick off just even the slightest degree over a short period of time, before you know it, you're way out here.
Right.
And so just like planning dinner, all right, planning in relationships, you got to do it consciously. It takes time. It takes a conscious effort to plan. And so tonight, what I'm going to challenge you to do is research out of the University of Washington is showing if you do these 5 magic hours, is what they call it. It's a concerted, concentrated effort to make your relationship better. And it's just 5 hours a week, and I'm going to share with you what to do. But if you do these just 5 hours a week, you'll have a stronger, healthier relationship. All right, so what are you doing over here too?
So I'm not going to cook tonight. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I do for meal prep, because I do work full-time out of the home, and the same question comes up of how do you do it? How do you get the dinner on the table every night? And really, it's very simplistic. I guess the guidelines I follow is I look at the grocery flyers every week, and I start actually creating my list of what's on sale. And then start looking at my pantry and my refrigerator and what can actually accompany these meals. And I start creating only about 2 or 3 meals, because the other ones are going to be really super quick and easy, which I'll get to in a minute. But anyway, say for instance, green beans are on sale and sweet potatoes. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I can Google recipes with green beans and sweet potatoes and look for something that's really quick and easy and doesn't have a lot of ingredients. I'm always going to double what I'm going to make, because whatever I don't eat tonight, I'm going to take to lunch tomorrow. Now, he is not a leftover guy at all. I'm the leftover person, so if he's not going to take it, I'll take it for other people at work. So really, really important. But if you want to also do just the quick meals, super easy, just to open up one of the bags with just a salad in here, and then you've got a protein that you're going to make. So I always buy in bulk. So if I'm going to buy hamburger, I'll buy it in 8 to 10 pounds. I'm going to always make it in hamburger patties. I know these are big hamburger patties, but we like big patties. So it makes it easy. So if I'm going to just make burgers that night, I'm going to pull 2 or 4 out, and they're already ready for me to cook. Same thing when it comes to the chicken. It's already in the baggie. It's frozen this way. So if I want to pull it out for dinner for the night, for tonight, I would pull it out in the morning. Great marinade. Just mojo, super easy and quick. You can actually find it in the
Latin section.
Yeah, the Latin section of the grocery store. Just put it in the bag, close it, turn it a couple times. It makes a great meal. But just super duper easy. Even if you just get a rotisserie chicken when you're at the grocery store, and you can put it with so many other things. Cut up some fresh vegetables and saute them. but we're creatures of habit and we need to get out of the rut and just try some new things. And there was a statistic out there that 37% of the people that cook only know 5 recipes in their head. But truly, they only make about 12 meals. And that's really pitiful. And they only actually try one new recipe every year.
Yeah.
Can you
that's
imagine?
heartbreaking.
I would,
boring.
and I wouldn't Google it. I'd go to one of Deb's cookbooks.
I don't like it.
Sweet potatoes. I wouldn't Google nothing.
Would you?
All right, I just go. You know, I'm not a big leftover fan, as my wife said.
No.
But you know, I was planning on taking leftovers from the
Right.
party the other day. The Tampa Bay Rays were in the World Series, and I was going to take some leftovers home from the party, and all my plans were foiled. You get it? Come on, stay with me. Stay with
got
me.
it.
All right.
Real.
So she was speaking of these little baggies. Okay,
Right.
this is what you're doing today, right?
Okay,
So,
so I'm cooking in baggies. Okay, so what I'm challenging you, Suzanne, is I'm going to teach everyone sous vide. Sous vide is a method that's been used by culinary chefs for many, 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 many years. And what it's doing is we've put our food into bags. We've seasoned our food. We entered them in raw. We're putting them in this water, and this machine, this wand, is circulating the water around the food at the temperature that I set it for. So what that means for you at home is if I had a larger container, I can cook 20 chicken breasts. Each and every one of the chicken breasts or pork chops or whatever type would have the seasoning that you would like. For instance, this one, and I just used a freezer bag, not the vacuum seal bags. In this one, I like the herbes de Provence. I've got some rosemary in there. I have a lemon in here. I have zucchini. Now, all I'm going to do is I'll heat my fry pan Wednesday for a couple seconds, sear it, but it's cooked all the way through. I cooked at a very low temperature, so it's more tender. There's no shrinkage. But over here, I did Suzanne's vacuum seal bags. I did them with Montreal seasoning, so we can
there you go.
slice
Yep.
those up and put them on steaks. And here I did one for Paul that we can turn into chicken piccata in
very
seconds.
good.
So you can cook for the whole family. If you use the vacuum sealer, which we'll show later, what will end up happening is you can make 10 different meals all at once. And in the vacuum seal method, Paul, those will be good for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
as long as it's not open to air.
So basically, you just plan ahead. Basically, your
Yes.
protein, whether it's gonna be chicken or beef or fish,
True.
right? And then you put all the ingredients in the bag.
Correct.
You either vacuum seal it with your cute little handy
Vacuum
vacuum sealer, or you can even use just a regular
Freezer bags,
Ziploc
yep, if you
freezer
want to
bag.
get the air out, that will be one of the,
Okay.
and I'll put the recipes up on the page so that you can see it. There are tons of books out there, and it is one of the books that I haven't written, but when we first started selling sous vide machines, they were $300, $400, $500. I bought one at Ollie's the other day for $30.
$30.
Isn't eating healthy and planning ahead and spending an hour at the front end to have a week's worth of delicious
Absolutely.
meals that the two of you will have more time for each other
Yeah,
with?
well, exactly, and I mean, this is kind of a neat little machine here. So you set the temperature to the desired temp. In this case, it's 145. You stick it in there, it rotates the water, and it cooks it at a slow, low temperature until the meat is 145.
Right,
Is that
and
what it
it'll
is?
keep it at that. Like, for instance, I set it for an hour, but if I didn't get to it for 2 hours, the temperature of the chicken doesn't go up to 190.
Stays at
It
145.
keeps it at that temperature.
Yeah.
For meal planning, for parties, if you want to cook everyone's steak to a perfect
Okay,
medium
yeah.
rare, but all you're going to do is you can smell the seasoning.
I can smell it already, yep.
Beautiful. So I'm going to put a little olive oil in here to make these beautiful brown. And it'll take probably all of 3 to 4 minutes. I'm not cooking it all the way through. I'm not cooking it rapidly. I'm getting tender, delicious food, better than you could get in a restaurant. And that's what you can do if you're a busy teacher with three kids
and,
going
and all
into
the sports. Yeah, and this is one of the ways that restaurants, I mean, some of the
For upper
top
Michelin
line
chefs.
restaurants, yes, actually prepare and cook their food. So it just takes a little bit of planning, just a little bit of time, right? It's a conscious effort, and you can eat healthy. You have some
Precisely.
delicious, healthy, well-cooked meals. And I'll maintain it's the same thing is true with relationships. If you just consciously make the effort, put a little time, energy, and effort into it, and you can have a
Reap the
stronger,
harvest.
healthier relationship. Yeah, you'll reap the harvest. And so here are the 5 things I want to encourage you to do, right? So these are the 5 magic hours, just 5 hours a week. If you put this concerted effort into it, I promise you, you're going to have stronger, healthier relationships. The first one is this. Partings. Okay, when you and your spouse or you and your loved one, you part in the morning, okay, I want you to learn just one thing about their day. Okay, just before you leave, before you part ways, just learn one thing about their day. You know, maybe they have lunch with the boss that day, or maybe they have a doctor's appointment, or maybe they have a scheduled telephone call with a long-lost friend kind of thing. Okay, but learn one thing about their day before you leave. All right, and so that takes 2 minutes, 5 times, you know, during the working week, during working days. So that's a total of 10 minutes right there. Right? That's all it is. So number 1, just learn one thing about their day. 2, reunions. Okay, so you go to work, you come home after a long day of work, and you engage in a stress-reducing conversation. Okay, so you gotta make time, right? This is, you're consciously setting aside time to have a stress-reducing conversation. It's simply this.
So, like, what would you say in a stress-reducing?
How was your day?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I mean, that's all we're saying. It's like, how was your day? You know,
Something
and,
light.
Yeah. And it may not even be light. It might be heavy. I mean, you might have had a really rough day, right? And so you take turns. You share with each other how your day is. Remember, you don't give advice. You know, you don't give any unsolicited advice. Us guys, you know, we like to fix things, and so oftentimes we will like to give advice.
Right.
So you're just active listening, right? You're communicating the fact that you're listening. You're saying, "Ooh, that was, you know, that sounds like it was hard," or "That sounds exciting." You know, so you got to show that genuine interest. Okay, you validate emotions. So if the other person is upset or excited, I mean, you need to validate it. Say, "I can see that you're excited about this," or "I know you're truly upset." You know, and you need to express affection. You know, and so, I mean, just holding each other, or, and then, once again, you're on the same side.
Right.
So you don't take the other, you know, you don't take the boss's side, right? You stand up for your spouse. You take your spouse's side. And that's only about 20 minutes a day, right? And so now you're talking, 20 minutes a day, you know, 5 days a week. So now you're talking an hour and 40 minutes there. Okay, so those are the first 2 things. Is partings and reunions. Okay, and just making sure you kind of have that time together. You know, it's kind of interesting. There's a thing called spillover. Okay, and so if you're stressed out at work and you have a rough day at work, well, you bring those emotions home. Those emotions and those struggles, those frustrations, they spill over into your relationship, and they negatively impact the relationship.
Right.
And the same thing is true. Like if you're struggling at home, it'll spill over into work, and you won't be as productive, or you won't be as, you know, friendly or as inviting to customer service or whatever it is. Yeah. And so spillover. Okay, so those are the first 2 things: partings and reunions. Now, what do you? So you just basically?
Yeah, I just round it for a second, and I'm fascinated with what you're saying. So you don't need to stop for me, but if you do want to take a little taste of it very quickly, I did want you to see the text. Can you see how tender that is right now?
Yeah, it is. It's very, yeah.
Right, and the flavor part of it, the chicken is the exact same size as it was. What do you think? Isn't that outstanding?
Yeah, it's very moist. It's excellent.
Isn't that excellent?
Yeah.
It's not rubbery.
So is that the one you pulled out?
Yes, those are
Okay.
the first 2, and all I did was just brown them in here for a second, and then I'm making a little sauce for you.
Okay.
But I'll test you one of the other ones we'll put on salad later, but give me more information.
Oh, you
I
want
love
more.
this.
So we said partings and reunions. 2 of the important times together. The other one is to express or show admiration and affection for someone. Okay, so here's the rule. Find some way every day. Okay, you find some way every day to communicate genuine affection and appreciation. Okay, for your spouse or for your loved one. All right, and I mean, here's the challenge. Like every morning, I mean, you ever wake up grumpy in the morning?
No,
Yeah,
not
I let her sleep. But anyway, but it's like, you know, I mean, you can wake up and be in a bad mood, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and so to kind of train your mind, you know, this is almost like a cognitive technique. Start focusing on the positive.
Yes.
You know, what are you thankful for? You know, when you wake up in the morning, I mean, be thankful. Be thankful for your bed. Be thankful for your house, for your job, or you know, I mean, there's a million things that we can be thankful for. So start focusing on the positive and not the negative. All right, and so that's
Great
one way
advice.
that you can be more conscious of showing affection and appreciation for someone. And so to show appreciation, say, you know, you simply say it, right? You know, say, hey, job well done. You know, I'm so proud of you, or I love you, or you know, a great job with the kids, or whatever it is. But you show admiration and affection for that person. Okay, and then, or admiration and appreciation. The next one is affection. Okay, now this is powerful. All right, you know, you kiss, hold, grab, touch each other. You know, make sure you kiss each other before you go to sleep at night. Right? Okay, so one thing, if you got kids, that is a powerful modeling example for kids. It shows a strong, healthy relationship. But it also shows affection All right, and when you kiss goodnight, before you go to sleep, that's one of those times you let go of those minor irritations. Okay, so often we replay stuff in our mind. So, lace your kisses with forgiveness. All right, and so that's like 5 minutes a day, right? 7 days a week, that's 35 minutes. Same thing with the admiration and the appreciation. That's 5 minutes a day, 7 days a week, that's 35 minutes. And then finally, go on a weekly date. Okay, once again, we get so caught up in the busyness of life. You've got to plan to go on a weekly date. If you want a strong, healthy relationship, just like you want good, healthy meals, if you want a strong, healthy relationship, you got to plan.
You got to make an
You got to
investment.
consciously, I love that, make an investment in it.
Right.
And so a weekly date. And all that is a relaxing, low-pressure way to stay connected. You don't have to discuss family issues, or you don't have to discuss finances. You just go out, and you don't have to spend a lot of money, but just go do something. A relaxing, low-pressure way that the two of you can stay connected.
I agree.
And that's 2 hours, one time a week. So when you add up the partings and the reunions, when you add up the admiration and appreciation, the affection, and in a weekly date, that's only 5 hours a week. So you see, it's just small little things that you can do, that if you consciously do them, if you plan and invest the time into them, your relationships can be stronger.
And it becomes a habit, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the showing admiration and appreciation. I mean, if you're one of those people that focuses on the positive, and you start to do it, well then you automatically start to recognize more positive. And wouldn't that help you as well?
It would help me. I think even myself, not even in a relationship, Paul, when I wake up in the morning, there are times where things aren't as good as they used to be. Things are challenging, but to get up and go, that's not going to help my day. If I can just get up, I'm breathing. It's beautiful. The temperature, I've got my, it's all about perspective. And it's also about getting in a healthy habit, and I love the advice. And I do agree, date nights when Martin, we were all about that. It's the best way to stay
They're
connected.
powerful, it is.
And you're right, it doesn't have to be anything that's elaborate. Maybe it's just, we would just pack up a blanket and we'd go to the beach at night and just sit there and watch the sun go down. And just something easy and quick, and just do it together and
Not
just
spending
connect.
money, you're just spending time with each other.
Absolutely.
It's a good
In each other.
way to connect. All right, so try to practice those 5 things. 5 concerted, concentrated hours a week.
Yep.
And I promise you, your relationships, they're going to be stronger. They're going to be healthier. Just like we plan these meals, we're going to be stronger and healthier, right?
Exactly.
So what do you do here now?
All right, so this is that same dish. I did want to show you. I did make one that was specifically Suzanne. Remember we were teasing? Suzanne loves Montreal seasoning.
Yes.
What I would love with this, Suzanne, can I steal one more sharp knife?
Absolutely.
You take all you're gonna do is you're gonna open the chicken packets that you buy at the store. Okay, and like all these have them for $1.49 a week. $1.49 a pound this week. So you take them, and I just clean them off, pat them dry. I like to trim them. And then all we're going to do is rub them with Montreal seasoning. And then Suzanne, I'm gonna have you take a taste of it, but I'm gonna put it on that salad. But without even searing it, I want you to taste this.
Oh, wow. It's
You saw
already
it was
ready.
like so tender. And it doesn't taste like
my
boiler
word.
food.
No.
Don't you love that flavor?
No, it's
Taste
very,
this,
it's
Paul.
very
Oh,
moist.
so good.
So what we're doing is we're elevating the experience. We're planning for the week. And I love the fact that you brought up that people are using just like 5 or 12 recipes. Expand yourself. Make a commitment to maybe your partner would love to have a different kind of dish. Maybe that will
Yeah,
help
that
your
really spice it up a
relationship.
little bit. A little spice on that food.
But isn't
So,
that nice?
yeah, it is. It is excellent. It is excellent. So, and I'd say you have all the greens, so you made a little salad over here, so you just cut it up, and you've got your salad with the cucumbers and the onions and tomatoes and stuff.
But it could be a bag like Suzanne had. Like we could literally, you and Suzanne could spend an hour after church on Sunday and again, it doesn't have to be a side vessel.
Yeah.
You can get a big plastic Lexan. It can do a huge area. I usually use like a little clip to hold it there, and I'll put foil on the top, but I highly recommend look into Sous Vide. When you see them marked down, it's worth the investment. The little bit of time you're gonna spend, like Paul's saying, the 5 hours you invest in the relationship, the better your relationship. The few hours you spend one day a week will help you eat like a king, and you're gonna eat healthier. You're not gonna do like you and I were talking about, garbage mouthing. You come home starving and you're eating chips, trying to figure out what to eat. That's
Yes.
when we go raw.
That's when we go,
Or
that's when
planning.
we eat the poor stuff, exactly. So what's this called, this machine?
It's called a sous vide.
Okay, a sous
Sous
vide,
vide.
all right. You know, hey, I just heard that a huge oil company was planning on using insect urine as an alternative source of fuel. I mean, have you seen this? It was all over the news the other day. All right, this large company was going to use insect urine as a source of alternative fuel. I think it was BP.
I can't have you tell me the jokes anymore before we go on because he's hysterical.
That's why I think it was BP. That's why.
How are they gonna get that out?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, hey, all the recipes are online. We've got it right there at oursaviorfl.org. We want to thank you for joining us. You have a great day. God bless and live love.
Welcome back. This is going to be a bonus clip for the whole loaf, and Deb's going to show us some tricks here of how we can vacuum seal food. So go ahead, Deb.
So what we're gonna do, Suzanne, you can find these anymore. These used to be hundreds of dollars, but
Yeah.
vacuum sealers, you can find those like at Big Lots or Ollie's for even $30, $40. You can buy them on eBay. But what I've got are these bags. What I love about these bags is these can go in the dishwasher and use them over and over and over again. So we're
Oh.
not putting cash in the trash.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's one of the cool parts. And I love how you buy in bulk, so you totally get that. What we're gonna do today is instead of you putting your burger in those bags, which you can still use in the sous vide, I want to teach you how to vacuum seal.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I don't want you touching the raw chicken. I'll do all the raw chicken, but can you open the bag?
Absolutely.
Now I know you like using
Montreal.
seasoning. So we have Montreal seasoning here. I'm going to slide this chicken breast into the bag, and then I'm going to have you put some in my hand.
Got it. Let's do it this way.
Perfect. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna, now again, this could be herbs de Provence, this could be barbecue seasoning, this could be just salt and pepper. I mean, this could be curries, this could be red Thai curries. I mean, think outside of the box. When I'm
Okay.
using the vacuum sealer, I don't like to put liquid in because it can get caught in the vacuum. But when I'm using the zipper bags like this, we could put your mojo juice in here, you can put soy sauce in here. But what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna vacuum seal 2 chicken breasts with the Montreal seasoning. And I'm gonna just get a little bit more from you.
Absolutely.
And the reason the Montreal seasoning's just got so many different nice flavors in it, it'll go great if you wanna add barbecue sauce to it. I like using it to put in a salad. But what we're gonna do is you're going to take the bag, Suzanne,
Yeah.
and see how it's got that little circle?
I
You
do.
want the bag to go in the center of that. Now you're gonna close it. Okay, and then you're going to just hold that button. The button is gonna suck all of the air out of the bag.
That's fun.
And the reason that's important is it's air is what destroys our food. So once we remove all of the air from that, you'll see a green light will come on. And when the green light comes on, that means it's sealing the bag. And when the green light goes off, that means to stop. Now that will stay in their freezer for almost a year like that. But for us,
Oh my goodness.
for cooking sous vide, we don't have to freeze it. We can get a couple weeks in the refrigerator. So that one Sunday that you and Paul sit and make up all these different chicken breasts or burgers or shrimps and have them, you don't have to freeze them. Like you don't have to do that extra step in the morning.
Very good.
So we
Think
should be
it's
good to
done?
go. Yep, lift the
Go.
top. And so now, oh, it didn't seal it. So we'll
do it again.
pretend. But then what we would do is we'll stick it right into the sous vide. The sous vide I have set for chicken. I usually set it for 145 and go
Okay.
from 140 to 160. You can do it from an hour to an hour and a half. But if you are gonna leave it on there for 5 hours, it'll still maintain it at that temperature. So then the other thing, you clip it on here. We wanna make sure all the additional air is out of it, and that's it. We go about our life. And then that could be Tuesday's dinner. That could be Sunday's dinner. I mean,
Wow.
it's so easy.
That is super easy. Huh. Very good.
Enjoy.